Hello, everyone. Welcome to the conversation with Dr. Joan Coleman and friends. I am Dr. Joan Coleman, and I'm with my friend Rita
Hi, I'm Rita Reynolds, and I'm on Instagram as thereynoldslov.
and Megan.
Hi, everybody. Megan Price, Megan P129 on Instagram.
Let me tell you, listen, the world looks seem to have gone mad, right? It's so, I've been thinking like, why are we so tired? I've met so many women that be like, all they say is, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Why are we so tired? Why are we stressed out? And that made me come up with a topic. How do we find peace in time of uncertainty and stress? How do we find this peace? How do we stop from being so tired and worn out by things in the news media, by things we see, by the places we go? Now we're like boycotting stores. All kinds of stuff is going on in the world. Megan, help me out. How can we stress less in this time of uncertainty?
Oh, wow. That is a hard one to ask me to be the opener for. But okay, so I think that what we need to do is, and everyone says self-care and prioritizing whatever that is. I think you really got to ask yourself, like, what's that mean, right? Like, what's that mean? I think first identifying how to relieve your stress is going to be great. Try to stay away from the news as much as you can. Maybe give yourself, I think 30 minutes is a big ask for somebody like busy as I am. If I said 30 minutes a day for myself, like, no. But like, if I can manage five, whether it's just some breathing or some meditation, and that's a realistic goal. So I guess set realistic goals for yourself, and kind of try to turn off the outside world and don't be proud of yourself for multitasking. I think that's something, especially as women, we think, oh, I can multitask, like I can do all these things. Like I am not proud of that. I don't want to do, when you call me, I want to be like, I'm doing one thing well. And I'm happy to help you when I'm done with this thing. But instead, I have 12 balls in the air. I say, if you have to do it, and we all do, I get it. But like, don't be proud of that. Like try to like give some of that responsibility away and be okay with things being done differently.
You
That's, I
know?
guess, it. Yeah.
That sounds right. And two, when you start to stress, like me, when I start thinking about all the things and stuff, I tell myself, Joan, you're doing your best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Because sometimes you could start thinking about things and then it leads to another thing and then it leads to another thing. And then next thing you know, you're like, why does my muscles hurt? Because you're stressing out. Rita, do you find that happens? Like, why are we like this?
Because I feel like women, we think a lot. And I
Hmm.
was reading the other day that, in some point of the day, your brain uh stay without air. People that know better about this. So in fact, they say like if you take like a little nap, no, it's true, like 20
Yeah.
minutes. I know it sounds funny. I'm I nap. So I do naps, like
Yeah.
30 minutes. I put the timer, and they say that help your brain to recover the air
Yeah.
because I have severe anxiety, and I know it's hard, and I know a lot of people can say no, no, but I don't have time for take a nap, but
Hmm.
that help, really help. Even if you don't nap, if you really put your brain in silence. I'm not a yoga person, by the way,
Hmm.
but even if you just forget about it and just feel like, okay, I will let my body fail, you will, for like 20 minutes, will help. That's the thing that I know. Um,
I know that I've been hearing that naps are so good, but I think my brain probably needs gotta have a lot of air in it. It probably have a lot of air in it because I'm just not a napper. And even when I go to bed at night, it's still like I go to bed at 9:30. I'm not asleep till 12:30 because what the world? And I often think of the those Instagram meme where you go to bed and you should think you're sleeping, but 3 a.m. the Energizer Bunny is playing the drums, you know? And Megan, what's going on there? Why do you think like things like that happen? I'm not alone. Like, why can't we shut it off?
Yeah, I think that we even when we have a little bit of quiet or silence, we also can kind of remember other things that we need to
Hmm.
do. So I started this when I was in college. I used to sleep with like a notebook next to my bed, and then when I woke up, I would write it all down because instead of being up worrying about the thing, I would write it and then know in the morning it would still be there for me to worry about. So
Yeah.
at least like had somewhere to place that. stress,
Yeah.
like for the sleeping period of time anyway. But I do think that it's about identifying what it is that makes you relax, and for Rita, it's the nap, right? Like for you, it might be whatever, whatever. And everybody may have their own way of doing it. And, I love napping. I do like it. Again, sometimes it's like 7 or 8 minutes, but boy, that does help me. I don't wake up very nice, but I end up better in the
Yeah,
long run.
yeah.
But yeah, I think you got to put that somewhere. You got to take that idea in your head, whatever you're thinking about, put it down on paper. Yes, I am literally telling you to wake up from sleep and write something next to your bed, but
That's
I
what
think
I'm
it can
thinking.
help. Yeah, do it. Or make a little note in your phone or like a voicemail to yourself or like a little record or something. It could work. I don't know, but I think
Yeah.
that's why. I think that's what it is. It's we finally have time to be quiet within ourselves and we start thinking of the next thing.
That's so good. Rita said take a nap. Megan said journal, write it down, get it out of your head so you could sleep properly. I'm not a napper, but what I've been teaching lately, these kids, and what I've been taking them, like we take brain breaks. We call it brain breaks. And then I have them breathe in and out, breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth. And that really helps them to learn how to break it down, how to take a brain break. So I like to use the word brain break so they know, okay, we're taking a brain break. We're going to breathe through our nose, out our mouth, and stuff like that. So that's a thing you can do also. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, let it go. All right. So there you have it. Tips I know there's a lot going on, especially in the news today, especially in our world, especially on social media. Every scroll, you're getting something that's going on that you really don't need to you need to concern yourself about, but you can't control what you can't control. So if you can't control what you can't control, you just got to let it go. All right. Listen, this was a good topic. It was a short topic, but it was good. And I hope we gave you some tips to help you to navigate through the stressful things that are happening in society today. I am Dr. Joan Coleman, IG Let Me Be Me and Jay, and I'm with Rita
I'm Rita Reynolds, and you can find me on Instagram as thereynoldslov.
and Megan.
Megan Price, Megan P129.
Put in the comment box below any thought, anything you want to tell us that will help us navigate through this time, and we'll be sure to talk about it and get back to you. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Bye.